Shalom to my brothers and sisters who are in the body of Yahuwshua HaMashiyach, the Messiah, and to the scattered Hebrew Israelites who are throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Today I'll just bring you a news update so you can be aware when spring will start. So the title of this word today is Spring, the Sun Entering the First of Mazzaroth, known as Aries. Spring, the Sun Entering the First of Mazzaroth, known as Aries. Okay. So first, I like to open up with some scriptures first because a lot of people do not realize that we are supposed to be watching the heavens, and it is in the Bible, the 1611 Bible. So let us first open up with some scriptures. Okay. Genesis chapter 1. I'm going to read verse 14. Okay. Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And Yahuwah said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. So with this verse here, you really want to meditate on this verse because you need to ask yourself, what is the lights in the heaven that will let us know about when the seasons begin and end? Okay? I want to read this verse to you again because I really want you to hear what the word is trying to tell us. And Yahuwah said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So again, this verse is confirming to us that the lights that we see in the heavens are for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So the question you need to ask yourself, what are the lights in heaven to let us know about when the seasons begin to end? And the season I'm talking about are spring, summer, fall, and winter. Okay? Now, the next scripture I want to take you to is in the book of Job, because you're probably wondering, what is Mazzaroth? Okay? Believe it or not, it's in the King James 1611 Bible, and it gives us the definition of what is Mazzaroth. So we're going to go to Job chapter 32, verse 38. And make sure I give you the right chapter first. We can go to Job chapter 38, verse 32. I apologize. I will reverse numbers. So we're going to Job chapter 38, verse 32. Okay, Job chapter 38, verse 32. Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season, or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? So here in the King James 611, we see this word Mazzaroth, okay? And if we click on this subscript number here, it's going to give us a precept so we can get the understanding what does Mazzaroth mean. So when you clicked on that subscript number, you will see that Mazzaroth means the 12 signs. Now, I'm also going to take you to the actual photo of the scriptures so you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to Job 38, verse 32. Here we go. I'm going to try to blow this up, okay, so you can really see it. But those who have a copy of the King James 1611 Bible, you see where this mark right here besides Mazzaroth, if you look to the side of it, it would say, or the 12 signs. So let me first try to blow this up. I'm going to try to blow this up so you can really see it. Here we go. It'll say, or the 12 signs right over here, Mazzaroth. So what this basically means, for those who have a copy of the works of Josephus, 1st and 2nd Enoch, and I want to say Jubilees does talk about the Most High calendar, but I cannot recall if it mentioned Mazzaroth. But when you read those books and the King James 1611 Bible, you would come to learn that Mazzaroth today is the zodiac, or what the heathens call, okay? It is the 12 zodiac signs. And when you understand the purpose of Mazzaroth, you will come to find out that these stars let us know what season we are in. For each star constellation falls in a certain season. For example, Aries is the first star constellation of Mazzaroth, which lets us know that when spring begins. Okay. So let me see here. What else I'm about to say about this part? And when you understand how the sun works with Mazzaroth, then you know when the sun months begin to end, and also you would know when the seasons begin to end. So now we got confirmation from the scriptures as regards to what lights in the heavens tell us when the Most High seasons begin to end for spring, summer, fall, and winter. Okay, so I know you're probably saying, well, why is this so important? Because the Most High created the heavens. And when he created the heaven, he gave us the lights in the heavens to be time indicators. And even Yahuswshua HaMashiyach mentioned this. Okay, so I'm going to take you to 2 more scriptures for proof, because there's nothing wrong for us watching the heavens and keeping a record of time, because we are supposed to. This is how we know what season we are in, and this is how we know we are keeping the Most High holy days in the correct seasons. Okay, I'm going to minimize this, get this back to a normal view. Okay, so the next scriptures I'm going to take you to is to the book of Luke, and we're going to go to Luke chapter 12. Okay, and we're going to read verse 54 through 56. So Luke chapter 12. Verse 54 through 56. Luke chapter 12, verse 54. And he said also to the people, when ye see a cloud raised out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when ye see the south wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? Yea, and why even of yourselves judge ye not what is right? So this is Yahuswshua HaMashiyach speaking to the Pharisees and scribes. So I'm going to take you to another scripture to give you more understanding what he means by these verses. But notice here, our people did observe the heavens to determine about the weather. Okay. So now we're going to go to Mathew chapter 16. Okay. And the reason why I'm giving you this verse, because for some reason, I don't know why some of my people think we cannot observe the heavens. Okay. Observing the heavens to keep a record of time is different from worshiping the heavens. The Most High again gave us the heavens to know how to keep his holy days. He gave us the heavens to know how to keep a record of time. Okay. This is how my people was able to determine what time of day it is. Okay. So during daylight, they can look at the position of the sun in the sky to determine whether it is morning, noon, or evening. Okay? So now we're going to read Matthew chapter 16, verse 1 through 5. The Pharisees also, with the Sadducees, came, and tempting, desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, When it is even, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. Okay, I'm going to end there at verse 4. So this is proof to you again that my people did observe the heavens for different things. And you can see in this verse, 1, to determine what the weather would be. Okay, therefore my people did observe the sky to understand the Most High holy calendar. For now we are learning that the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth, which are the 12 signs, known as zodiac, makes up the Most High calendar. So this is why I took you to the scriptures first before I start giving you the news update of when spring would come in. Because for some reason, many do not recognize the vernal equinox as a part of this calendar. Okay, so I will put the video link of the 12-month calendar review, because I'm not going to go in details of what you see here. I'm only going to be talking about the sun into Aries. Now, I do want to point out what you see here. You see the 11th month right here. When you're facing it, it's on your left. And in the middle, I have the 12th month based on Israel results. And on the right side, I have what I'm following based on that the full moon can only be on your 14th or 15th day. So this is why you see 2 calendars for the 12th month known as Dar. All right. Now you have to watch the video that would be in the video description box to understand why I have 2 calendars for the 12th month. And the reason why the reason why I put 2 calendars so you can compare and see the results, and you can choose what you want to follow. Okay. But watch that video for the specific details. Now let's get to the sun entering Mazzaroth, which is the first sign of Mazzaroth. So today the Gentile call it Aries. Now this is very important because when the sun enter the first sign of Mazzaroth, known as Aries, this is to let you know that the sun month is ending. The sun 12th month is ending. Okay. It also lets you know that spring is beginning. Now, when you go to timeanddate.com and you look under season calculator, okay, and the year is 2017 AD, you will find that the vernal equinox, which they call March equinox, okay, or the spring equinox, will occur on March the 20th, 2017 AD at 12:29 p.m. Israel Standard Time. Now, this schedule you see here is based on Arad, Israel. What this is basically saying, because this is the Gentile wording for what our prophet Enoch is talking about and what the Bible is talking about, as well as the other books such as Josephus. They call it the equinox, all right? So what this is saying to you is that on March the 20th at 12:29 p.m. Israel Standard Time, the sun will enter the star constellation known as Aries. That's what it's saying to you. Now, when I'm going to take you back to the calendar so you can look at this. So when you look at this right here, this happened at 12:29 p.m. 12:29 p.m. is daylight, okay? So that occurs before sundown when the sun does this, all right? Therefore, when you go back to the Hebrew calendar, The day that the sun enter Aries will fall between March the 19th to March the 20th. Remember, on the Hebrew calendar, our days start from sundown to sundown. Okay, so let's go there now. So, the sun enter Aries on March the 20th at 12:29 p.m. Israel Standard Time. So it will fall on for those who are following Israel results of their new moon. For you, it will fall on the 21st day of the moon. Okay? Because remember, our day begin at sundown to sundown, so it'll be from March the 19th to March the 20th at sundown. Okay? For those who are following the corrected calendar based on that the full moon has to be on the 14th day, for us, it will fall on the 22nd day of the moon. Okay? Again, it would be from March the 19th at sundown to March the 20th. Now I want to get back to Israel result. So what happens on this day when the sun enter Aries? It is letting you know this is the last day of the sun 12th month. It's very clear. This is the sun last day on the sun 12th month. Okay? Now, because we can't split a day, in other words, we can't say part of this day is winter and part of this day is spring. Because we can't split this day, this is why the first day of spring would be on the 22nd day of the moon. Okay? Do you see this? This is why spring, first day, would be on the 22nd day of the moon. Okay? Now, last week we had some terrible weather in certain parts of the country. You know, they had a bad snowstorm to come through. And that was just letting you know, hey, we were still in winter. Okay? So now we are about to enter into spring, which is very important because Passover can only occur in the spring season. That's very important. And the reason is everything has to line up with agriculture. Think about it. The heaven and the earth complement each other. They line up to each other. And the reason why this is very important, because dealing with the first fruits of the barley harvest, your sheaf weight offering day is on the bid 16th. So the body has to be right in order to present that offering on that day. This is why it's important that Passover fall in the correct season. Okay? So for those who do not observe the 13th month, you ought to know this has happened to you. This is why your Passover day occur before spring season. Okay? And next year, you're going to find out, for those who are keeping a record, that their Passover day, for those who do not observe the 13th month, shall occur further and further into winter. That's what's going to happen to you. The evidence is there. All right. Now, if you want more understanding about the 13th month, go to my YouTube channel, and there's some videos there to give you more understanding about the 13th month, because the evidence is there. The heavens give us the evidence that a 13th month does exist, and the Bible does confirm it. It's there. Okay. For those who keep a record. All right. So now that we know when spring began, now for those who are following the calendar based on the correction, because your full moon can only be on the 14th or 15th day. For us, this would fall, for us, the first day of spring would be on the 23rd day of the moon. Okay? But I'm going to re-emphasize this to those who follow Israel results. Okay, I want to emphasize this. Those who following the new moon crescent based on Israel results, which happened on the 27th of February at sundown, your first day of spring will be the 22nd day of the moon. Okay? Now, this is what Enoch was talking about. And to get understanding why the day and night are equal to one another, you have to go to Enoch. Okay? Again, the Most High give us signs in the heavens to let us know when the sun months begin to end. He also give us signs in the heavens to let us know when the seasons begin to end, okay? So those who have a copy of First Enoch, you will have to go to chapter 62. And what I find with this chapter, because I'm only going to read 2 verses out of this chapter, but when you go to chapter 62, you really need to write out when the first, you need to write out when each month begin to end, okay? So for example, verse 6 to verse 7, make sure I got this right. I'm going to look at my notes, is when you have the first month, okay? And then after that, you will have to read each following verse to see when the other months begin to end, okay? So verse 6 through 7 is when you have the first month. I want to make sure I read this right. I want to tell you right, looking at my notes. Hold on, family. Okay, let me go back and correct myself. Verse 6 through 10 is dealing with the first month, okay? And it gives you the sign when that month ends, or the first month. Verse 11 through 12 is the second month. Verse 13 through 14 is the third month. Verse 15 through 16 is the fourth month, and so forth, okay? But we're going to read verse 31 through 32. This is First Enoch, chapter 62, verse 31. And on that day the sun rises from that portal, and sets in the west, and returns to the east, and rises in the third portal for 31 mornings, and sets in the west of the heaven. On that day the night decreases, amounts to 9 parts, and the day to the 9 parts, and the night is equal to day, and the year is exactly as to its days, 364. So this is First Enoch I'm reading. Now you have to read Second Enoch to understand why the solar year is no longer 364 days. Again, the Most High changed sometimes. There were some certain biblical events that affected time. Okay, so you have to read Second Enoch in your King James 611 Bible to understand why the solar year is no longer 364. And if you keep a record of the solar year, you would see this. And I have records of this myself, because now I'm a witness. I can tell you that the sun will either be 366 days or 365 days. And it occurs as the prophet Enoch prophesies, not as the Gentiles say. There's a difference, I'm telling you. It occurs as the prophet Enoch say. For when the Gentiles say that the year is 366, it's actually 365. Okay? This is why it's so important to keep a record of the Most High calendar. And your record should consist of the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth, which is the 12 signs. Okay? I also want to mention here that when the night and day are 9 parts, it said 9 parts. What it's telling you is that the night is 12 hours and the daylight is 12 hours. So I know what you're thinking now. When you go to timeanddate.com and you look at the link of hours, you will see a slight difference. Okay. Let's go there now so you can see what I'm talking about. So see here, let's go with, you have to look at sunrise and sunset times. Okay. And we're going to look at March the 20th. Okay. On March the 20th, they give you the sunrise time at 5:43 a.m. and sunset is 5:50 p.m. And on this day, the amount of daylight total is 12 hours, 7 minutes, and 34 seconds. So you're probably saying, why is there a slight difference? For those who have been watching the signs that Yahuwshua HaMashiyach had told us to watch, you will learn that the earth has shifted greatly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a link for you. I'm going to put a link for a video for you to watch to see how much the shifting of the earth has affected the equinox. And this is why we are seeing a slight difference with the amount of light and amount of day. Okay? Because the earth is no longer in a line with the heavens. And those who have been watching the heavens will automatically pick this up. You'll see a difference for those who observe it. Okay? And there was one more thing I wanted to tell you about with the shifting. And now I know why. The Most High last year sent two of his messengers to give us a message. And one of his messengers' message, it specifically states, the Most High specifically states that the heavens and the earth are manifesting themselves because the true Hebrew Israelites are not in the Holy Land. So this is evidence to show you that the heavens are crying out to us. The earth is crying out to us that the true Hebrew Israelites are not in the Holy Land. And this is one of the signs to confirm this. Okay. So this is why on the equinox day that you see that is not exactly 12 hours, it's a little bit over the 12 hours. Therefore, your night would be like 11 hours and 53 minutes, something like that. So this is why we're seeing that difference. Okay. Now, another thing I want to bring out dealing with this day for those who observe the heavens, because it's very important, because remember earlier I mentioned that you can kind of get an idea of what season you're in by looking at the sun, how it's positioned in the sky. You know, that's another hint. Well, on this day when we have the equinox, you will learn that there's only 2 times out the year when the sun directly rises in the east and directly sets in the west. Okay. For those who've been observing the sunrise and the sunset, you will notice that the sun does change its position in the sky where it rises and sets. It either would be in east south, okay, or it can be in the west north or west south, or you can have it rising. Let me rephrase this so you can understand. With the sunrise, you will notice that sometimes the sunrise can be northeast or southeast when you look at the sky. When it sets, it can be northwest or southwest. And I'm telling you, my people, when you watch the sun throughout the whole year, you can see a difference. You can see how it does change its gates, as what the prophet Enoch say. Okay. So it's only 2 times out the year that the sun directly rises in the east and sets in the west. And these 2 times are in the spring equinox, known as the vernal equinox, and in the fall equinox, known as the autumn equinox. Those are the only 2 times where you see the sun directly rises in the east. Okay, for those who are watching the heavens. Okay, so I thought this article was very interesting. Again, when you read this article, make sure you have the understanding about the heavens. Okay. Don't just take this article and run with it. All right. Make sure you do your research. But this is just to give you some understanding about the heavens and to get some understanding of what our ancestors saw, because they didn't have watches. They did not have clocks. They didn't have internet. Okay. They used the heavens. Just like the sailors. The sailors used the heavens to know what direction they was going in. So what I'm sharing with you is truth, something that you really want to check out and research. All right. The next thing I do want to mention is dealing with the 12 signs versus the 13 signs, because now the heathens are coming out and saying there's 13 signs. This is why they are running into this problem. The word is the word. The word said there's 12 signs. The problem is they trying to view the sun entering the signs, these 12 signs, based off the earth rotation. Okay, that's what sidereal is about. Sidereal is based off of the earth's rotation. So what you see here in this chart, and this comes from Wikipedia, dealing with sidereal and tropical astrology. Okay, sidereal that you see here, date, and based on IAU boundaries, Walter Berg, it's based off of sidereal. It's based off of the earth rotation. When you see this word tropical date is based off of the sun circuit. Okay, it actually looks at the sun circuit and when the sun enter these 12 signs. So when you look at this chart that you see over here, you see Aries number 1, and you go all the way down, you encounter a total of 13. Well, the reason why the heathens will run into 13 signs, because they count on this constellation here. I cannot pronounce it. I'm going to spell it to you. Ophiuchus. Now you see that it will fall for those who are following Walter Berg from that. Okay, they will run into that constellation. But those who are following the sun circuit, okay, will not run into a problem of a 13th sign. You only have 12 signs. So just beware of that. I just want to throw that out because you have to understand the heathens are not given the information that my ancestors was giving. Okay. And the word is the word. The word said 12 signs. It does not give you any prophecy about a 13th sign coming into the picture. It specifically said 12 signs. That's what the word say. So we're going to stick by the word, and it makes sense because everything lines up with the heavens. Okay. So going back to the calendar, I just want to emphasize this again. On March the 20th at 12:29 p.m., the sun is going to enter the first sign of Mazzaroth. When the sun enters that sign, is letting you know that is the last day of the sun 12th month. Okay? That is the last day of winter. The next day following after that is the first day of spring and the first day of the sun month. Okay? I want to say this again. The day that comes after the sun entering the first sign of Mazzaroth, known as Aries, the day after it is the first day of spring. Okay? And because we know Passover can only be in springtime because your body has to be right for the sheaf weight offering on the big 16th, it makes perfect sense because guess what? The heavens and the earth is going to line up. So I hope this word has been helpful in giving you some understanding about Mazzaroth and how Mazzaroth is a part of the Most High Holy Calendar. Okay? And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section. Okay? So I want to close this lesson out with this reminder. Please remember this family, for they are truly going through. They are truly bearing their cross, and they are standing strong for who they are, for they are Hebrew Israelites. And they are standing strong for Yahuwah and Yahuwshua HaMashiyach. So please remember them. I will put the video in the description box so you can get more information about their testimony and what they're going through. So please keep this family in your prayers. Please do not forget about them. Okay? And I want to end this lesson out with this prayer. I plead the blood of Yahuwshua HaMashiyach upon this video post and upon the links that is attached to this post. I pray that your people will receive understanding about your holy calendar, Father. I pray that they will understand how the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth work together, so we will know when your holy days are, so we can keep and honor them on the correct days. I pray that if any of our enemies come against this truth, that you afflict an evil judgment upon them, until they repent and do what is right in the sight of your eyes. But I pray for those who not understanding what is being shared, that you would give them understanding. And Father, we also pray for that family. Comfort them, strengthen them, and protect them from all danger, harm, and evil. And if anything else, Father, I forget to pray for in this prayer, I ask that you fulfill it according to your will. And whatever our enemies have planned against us, let it fall upon their heads, and let them fall in their own pits that they have dug for us. In the name of Yahuswshua HaMashiyach, so be it. All right, my fam, I love you all. Continue to preach the gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for we know this is the season for Yahuwah HaMashiyach to deliver us from the hands of our enemies. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10, and baptize them in the name of Yahuwah HaMashiyach. Shalom.